So today we will cover what developers can do with Gonka, developers of any kind of applications that need AI, and we'll demonstrate it by showcasing an app we built, an example app using Gonka API. Let me share my screen. Okay, so let's first show the app. So this is a public hosted demo. You can access it at Carrera at Gonka AI, and use it as an example app. It's a simple language learning app that uses AI to generate and grade exercises. It has a simple settings panel where you can point it to actually any kind of OpenAI compatible API. We use Gonka API, and you could select a model here. So let's see how it works. Yeah, so it asks us to, or progressive. I'm not that good at Spanish, people, but no, all right, but you get the idea. So it's just an endless feed of exercises, and each exercise is AI generated. And let's actually see how it works internally. So you can see that it sends API requests to our own server. We spun it up especially for this app, and it's basically proxy for Gonka network that wraps requests to it in a special Gonka authentication. And but you can talk to the proxy server using like the plain OpenAI Completions API. And there is a repository for this app that you can use and as an example to build your kinds of app in a similar way. And there's a similar proxy pattern. Yep, here's the repo. No, sorry, it's not the right repo.
Things that happened during the demo.
Yeah. Oops, yeah, here it is. Yep. So basically the server has only one endpoint that mimics the OpenAI Completions endpoint. And then it uses our Gonka SDK to add a signature to the request. And that's basically it. So you can basically copy this proxy server, maybe extend it with custom authentication and use it in your applications. And the only thing you would need is a Gonka account. And let's actually see how you can create one. So you can go to gonka.ai, access our documentation, and you would be interested in a developer quick start instruction. For now, for our initial promotional period, the inference is free, but in the future you would be required to pay for inference tokens with Gonka coin. But for now, you can just try it out for free. So the first step you would need to make to create your account is to download the InferenceD executable, which is the CLI tool that allows to both run the node and also the CLI to run the requests. And you just go to our GitHub. There are releases. You should pick your operating system and your architecture. So, for example, if your client is like a Mac machine on an ARM chip, you just download this zip, and then you'll have it on your system. And let's proceed further. Once you download it, it should be available to you as a CLI tool. And let's go over the instruction of creating the account. Yep. So basically, you just need this one command. You need to pick an account name that should be unique to your system. So this account name will be used in your local Gonka keychain. So you can access the key pair later by that name. And you need a node address of some Gonka node. And there is the list of Genesis addresses, but you can actually see the list of active participants and current addresses like this. So what I'm saying is that you don't have to choose from the list of participants on our website, on the Gonka website, because you may not trust it. And since it's a fully decentralized system, you can talk to any node and get the list of active participants, and here would be their host addresses. Yep. But for this particular demonstration, we'll just use this Genesis node. Yeah. For example, here in the article that describes this process, this app we built, there is this step. So let's pick an account name and not your own, then you just run the command. Let's actually choose a bit of a different name today because I already have. Yeah. So basically it says what happened in the background. It sent the request to the blockchain and created a transaction for your account. And now you can use this account to run inference. So next comes the sensitive part. You will need the private key of your account to actually do requests and run our proxy server. So for the purpose of demonstrations, it's safe for me to share this key because this account won't be used for anything else, but you just need to know that this is a sensitive information, and when working with this private key, you got to be real careful and not share it with anyone because all your funds will be tied to this account. Yeah. So yeah, basically, the tool asks you, also warns you about the sensitivity of this information. You just have to confirm that you understand it. And yeah, now this environment variable Gonka private key contains the private key of the account we just created. And then we can actually run the proxy. So basically, I'm running a local copy of the app I just shown you. So for running the proxy, the only credential you need is this private key. And yeah, let's own the Carrera repository that contains the proxy code. Yep.
Dmitry, are you saying something? I believe that I stopped hearing you.
Um,
No, all good. Sorry.
No, not at the moment.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, it just took me some time to spin it up. So now we have a local copy of the server, local version of the server that uses the account we just created to run inference requests on Gonka. Yeah, we see that the server is healthy. And now let's just also run a copy of the front end. Yeah. So yeah, this is a local copy. Yeah, so as simple as that, we actually needed to run just one command to get you started with the account, and yeah, you can spin up your proxy. So for example, now assume you want to build your own kind of app. Where would I suggest to start? You can clone the Carrera repository, and you can take the inspiration from the proxy server. And as we see, it's a one endpoint server that just supports the completions API, both streaming mode and chunk and a whole chunk mode. And or you can just build your own server and just use our special client that also needs this. The only thing you need to run it is the private key that we just created. And then the interface is really similar to the OpenAI TypeScript client library. And this is, you're not restricted to TypeScript. We have clients in other languages. And if you refer to the article or to the documentation on the website, you can find a link to the repo that contains other versions, our SDK in other languages. So the TypeScript already mentioned, and you can also use Python or Go to write this very similar proxy server. So you should understand, so if you're building a client-facing app with this kind of proxy pattern, it will be your account that will be charged for inference tokens. So you would probably want to add some kind of authentication for the users, for the end users of your app. But yeah, depends on the model you will choose for your app. Yeah. So I guess this is the gist of it. Yeah, if you have any question, please feel free to write in the Discord, and we will help you to the best of our abilities to build the app of your dreams using Gonka network.